Good evening. Welcome to Out the Box series. My name is Josh, and I have a very special guest with me this evening. I like to call her an etheric, mystical vibe. Tonight we have Yeily Saints with us on Out the Box series.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for taking the time to sit down with us for an interview, Yeily. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, can you tell the audience, where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx, so, I grew up in the Bronx, but I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay. Yeily from the block?
Yeily from the block, Yeily from the Isla,
Mm-hmm. So would you say that your background and your heritage helped influence you as a creative?
I definitely would say yes. I feel like especially my Bronx background, just like being from New York City in general, just all the experiences that I've had as a woman in this city, like definitely I feel push me and inspire what I write about.
That's a very good answer. I like that. So, how old were you when you first were introduced to music? What age were you that you remember being introduced to music?
Like as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole, even before you became an artist.
I feel like that I remember. I honestly have pretty early memories, which is kind of weird, but I think maybe when I was like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually remember some stuff, like when my family would go to Puerto Rico, they would have like music. They would play a lot of like Christian music too. But yeah, I would probably say that. Yeah.
Okay. I like that response. And the reason why I phrased that question that way is with your heritage and the fact that you were raised in the Bronx. As you know, the Bronx is very special when it comes to music. That's the birth of hip hop. That's the birthplace of it. So a lot of great things have occurred there. And there's been a lot of very talented artists, musicians that all have hailed from the Bronx. So
I agree.
In a way, it's like you're carrying that cultural torch, so to speak.
I hope so.
Well, from here, it seems like you're doing pretty good.
I appreciate it.
You sound like you have an established sound already. How long would you say it took you to discover your voice?
I'm not sure. I feel like maybe it's just because it's me and I know me. I think I feel like this is the most established I've felt with my sound, but I do still feel like I'm still experimenting. I've been doing this for like 7 years. So I feel like just all that time, like just being in my room alone for hours, like trying to figure out what I like melody wise, or just discovering artists on YouTube. Like I would just be like listening to random people. That definitely helped me, but it definitely took me to get to where I am now. Definitely those 7 years. Like that, yeah.
You hear that, guys? 7 years. A lot of y'all just came off the couch yesterday and think that, y'all have what it takes. No, this is a real grind right here.
No, it's true. It's definitely true.
Would you say that you have a name for your fan base or your supporters?
I do actually. I came up with it when I was 16, but I didn't really, I don't know. At first I was kind of like, is this lame? Like later when I was thinking about it, because I'm like, I'm older now. It's like weird to say this. But I have like on Instagram, my channel is called Yeilians. So basically anybody who considers themselves like my supporter or whatever, like they're my Yeilians, like, because we're out of this world.
Okay, you hear that? We aliens.
That's it. Clock it.
I could say everyone at the OutTheBox team is a alien.
I hope so.
And you've become one of the crowd favorites at our showcases and at our performances. Anytime we have a performance, I have a lot of people reaching out to me now saying, hey, is Yeily going to perform? Like, what time is she coming up? And it's just like, this is great.
I love that.
You know, because you definitely have that it factor. I can, maybe I could be speaking too prematurely, but personally, from seeing you perform at other showcases, discovering your work online, and seeing how you overall carry yourself and how you construct your art, you have, in my opinion, you have what it takes. Or like you said in Ritual, you got the spark.
Hey.
You know?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So
I'm just, trying my best.
You're not trying, you're doing. But
You're
I get
right.
you. So what would you say was the major influence that caused you to pursue the artistry and become an artist?
I feel like there was definitely a lot of things, but the main thing for me was like growing up, my family, they were always in the church choir and stuff like that. So my sister had a lot of musician friends or just people that she knew that made music. And so I think just being in that environment, and when I was in high school, my freshman year, one of the people that she knew at the time, like, had taken me to the studio with them. And I don't know, I just realized I never thought about what making a song looks like, or like the process. Cause you hear a song, you're like, oh, it's 2 minutes. They're probably just like, whatever on this for a second, and then they leave. But then I was like, nah, like this is a whole process. Like we've been here for like 3 hours and it's still only like half the song done. So definitely seeing that process of putting a song together was what immediately intrigued me. Like it was like overnight. I was like, wait, this is what I have to do.
I think that's amazing because from the way you describe it, you're one of the few individuals that fell in love with the process as opposed to the finished product. Like at first it may have been, daunting, but then overall you're like overnight it's just like, this is all I gotta do. Like it seems like you just generally fell in love with the process.
For sure. I mean, I just think it's cool, like seeing somebody work so hard to put a song together, understanding the intention behind every single layer. It was just so intriguing to watch that. And I was like, I need to try this out and see, like, I don't know. I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. I was just like, I want to at least give it a shot. And I mean, now I'm here, so.
Well, I'm glad you tried it out because overall these experiments are chef's kiss.
Thank you.
So that leads me to this question. What is your creative process? How does that look like?
My creative process definitely consists of, it's basically just a jam session. I don't really premeditate too much before going into any studio sessions. I like to just kind of be in the space and see what comes from it. So, like with my producer, for example, he's in Nashville. Whenever I go out there and we're making songs, we just like literally vibe. Like he'll start playing guitar or keys or bass, and I'll start like singing. He'll pass me a mic and we're just like, fuck it, like let's hit record. Maybe we'll like a melody, and a lot of times we're like, yeah, like let's try to build this into a song. So I like that kind of experience where it's like you're not thinking too hard, you can just play.
That's very intriguing. So it's like you really build off the vibe and the energy.
Definitely. I feel like the energy in the room definitely adds to what you're doing. I think the goal always, or at least for me as an artist, is to have that vibe so like strong and to feel so confident in my own vibe that like no matter what's happening around me, like that's not gonna affect what's going on in here. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm putting out into the song or what I'm writing about, like, so that's really the goal. I'm still like learning how to do that because it can be hard, especially pushing yourself when you're collaborating with people. But yeah, I like to see what's gonna flow because I think that's where the best music comes from.
I agree. Letting things flow at times and not getting in the way is how magic is able to be experienced. Now that you explained that, how would you, as a songwriter, right?
Yeah.
And from hearing your discography, you are a phenomenal songwriter. First, we got to give you credit for that.
Thank
It's like
you.
your pen is amazing.
I appreciate it.
How do you come up with this? Because if the jam session is one aspect, what inspires you to even come up with these ideas or this imagery that
I
you paint?
feel like, I mean, I'm a very like visual person. So whenever I'm coming up with songs, I'm also thinking already of a music video in my head, or like just like what colors I'm seeing and stuff like that. So I think my songwriting definitely comes from the pictures that I'm seeing in my head. Like maybe I'm describing it, or I don't know. Like I kind of just flow with it. I feel like when I really first started learning how to songwrite, it was so hard. It was so hard, but it became easier over time because I put in the practice, of course. But in school, like English, I was top. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was just about kind of translating that now into music, which a lot of people would think is easier. But the thing with music is that you got to think about not only what you're saying, but like if it sounds good. Because it's like you could be telling a story, but if the words could sound beautiful on their own, but if there's no like rhythm or cadence to it, it's kind of like it's not gonna feel like a song. So I don't know. I just hours of practice, really. Hours of practice was what really helped me unlock my inner thoughts to a point where I could just be in a studio and like just listen to my mind. Like I always say it's more like, or actually Lady Gaga said this too in an interview where she was saying that it's about letting yourself listen to your own thoughts rather than trying to reinvent something so hard. Like just hear yourself, because there's always our minds run all the time. So
Yeah, you're right about that. So you have a very intriguing creative process. I will say that. What do you feel your goal is in music? What do you ultimately want to accomplish?
I mean, I feel like overall, I just want to connect with people. I think growing up in a city that's so fast paced, we sometimes need those moments or those songs or those pieces of art that kind of like help us slow down or like be present with one another. And I think that's what I really love about performing. It's like, oh, we all had this crazy busy week, but then now we're at the show chatting, socializing, listening to this one person like flow or whatever. It's like a moment where you can just be, you know, and I think the world really needs that. So
Great.
I hope that I can provide, you know, just some light and just calm vibes into people's lives when I'm performing. Or like I could turn you up. Like maybe you need a hype man, and that's what I'm here for too. So yeah, that's definitely what I want to help my community too. Like just thinking about growing up in the Bronx, seeing this, you know, the situations with the different buildings and like the landlords and how it works. Like if I could get my people out of there, I definitely will in 2.5 seconds.
Well, you have a big
You
heart.
know?
A very, very big heart. It's going to pay off for you, but you must protect it because this world is crazy.
I will.
Ritual. That is the record that you released as of recently. Matter of fact, it was a few days ago.
Yes, September 10th.
That record is an amazing record. Let me tell you what I wrote down. I wrote down that it's a story of transparency and transformation.
I would definitely say that. I feel like Ritual is a story of a girl giving herself a pep talk to just like hype herself up. Like, you know, when you have a breakdown, but then you're kind of like, wait, like, no, like I have to get back into myself. Like I need to like, so I feel like that song to me, when I wrote it, I was going through a lot of stuff and I was kind of like, what is the other me in my mind that's not depressed saying to me? Like, I need to be kinder to myself. So that's what that song is. It's just, I cried in the mirror, but you know what? I'm still a bad bitch. So let me play this song. Let me make this song.
That is so resonant to the imagery I had in my mind. Have you ever seen the show Insecure by Issa Rae?
Yes, I have. I love that show.
So literally, that's what Ritual is. As you were explaining that, I was imagining you just in the mirror talk to yourself like Issa Rae would.
Yes, that's literally how I talk to myself. So that's why I resonate so much with that show. Because it's like, I literally just talk to myself like there's somebody else in the room. And so this song, I really wanted to just speak my thoughts out loud, you know, do it for everybody else. You know?
You did. Matter of fact, I wrote down some of the bars from the song because that's how deep it was to me. You open the song by saying, "In the strangest way, I know I can do anything." That, I was just like, wow. And it's just the way the song starts with like the beat and everything. It's just like, it literally sounds like the beginning of an adventure.
I love that.
And then from there, that's where you just take us down your process as you're having this pep talk with yourself.
No, for sure. I think when I was writing this song, I was also thinking about like back in the day, or like not even that back in the day, but on Disney Channel, like when they had like Camp Rock movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the movie would start, there was always that song when they would wake up, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they're like singing to themselves to try to like get ready for the day. So this song is that song for me, basically. Like if I had like a song that I woke up to and it was like the theme song of my day to like hype me up, this is what I picture, like.
And the song, it's filled with vivid imagery. You go to the highest of highs and you go to the lowest of lows. Another thing you said in the song, all I really know is they be fiending and they want pieces of me. Raised the bar as high as they can see and gave them something they can see. I may have like misquoted something, my apologies. But
It's okay.
but that bar, that lyric was just so profound to me. Well, what inspired that?
Well, what I said was, all I really know is they've been fiending. They want pieces of me. Raised the bar high as the ceiling and gave them something to see. So with that lyric, I was basically just saying like, I don't know. I think when you start to show signs that you're doing something cool, or I don't know, just doing something that is touching people on a more, I guess, like public scale. Like obviously I'm not like famous or anything, but I feel like people interact with my posts and stuff a lot, thankfully, you know, after the years that I put into, you know, curating my content. And so I feel like, you know, once people started to see that, they would be like, oh, I want you for this, or I want you for that, or, but it's like they were never really, it's like you didn't care before. All of a sudden you're like in my DMs, or you're trying to reach out and see what's up. So I'm saying like, I raised the bar high as the ceiling. Like I gave you something to see. I gave you something that you want. And that's why now all of a sudden, like, you're all up in it.
And he's like,
Exactly. But it's like, I know. That's why we're not going to continue this, you know?
Clock it. I love it. I love it. So something else I want to touch on in the song, right? This reminded me of all the dark times I may have experienced from childhood up until the present. And it goes like, I'm in the dark, can't see my scars. So when they finally notice, it'll be from afar.
Yes.
That
I love that part.
that was, please expound on it. Tell us what went through your mind as you were writing that.
That line to me was basically talking about, I think every artist relates to this, but just anyone in general who has been through a lot or who feels like nobody's really seeing their grind or underestimating what they're actually doing. So I think a lot of people, they just see your posts. They don't see like the work that it took for you to not only be the artist that you are now, but to be the person that you are now. And I've been through a lot. There's a lot that I've seen. There's a lot that I've had to overcome. And I feel like a lot of people don't know about that. They meet me now and they see this like bubbly person and they're just like, oh, whatever. Like she hasn't been through shit. But it's like, I've been through a lot of shit. Okay? Too much shit. And so those are the scars. I'm in the dark is just meaning like they're blind to it. Like they haven't noticed it yet. And by the time they do, it's going to be when I'm up. And that's why it's going to be from afar. Because they're not going to be part of that.
Woo! Spoken like a true poet. My other favorite line. These bitches basic. They worried about being famous.
Yo.
Ain't that the truth?
I just, that part, I honestly just thought it was funny. Like, it is how I feel, but I also was like, this is kind of funny. Like, let me put it in there. Because low-key, like, I don't know. I'm not on this music journey as like a get-rich-quick scheme. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that we see just in the local scenes or just in general, like the music industry, that you could tell, like, they're not doing it through true passion and like love for the craft. Like they're just like, oh, like they just want to flex. And it's like, I'm not about that. Like I am an artist, like this is my whole life. I've been an artist since forever. And so I just want people to resonate with me as a person, not like, oh, because I got some chains or like, look at this car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand. Well, I'll tell you this. Every single person that I have introduced to your music, whether they've been to my showcase or not, they instantly fall in love with you, especially the ladies. And when they see your music videos, oh my God, they're just mesmerized.
Shout out to the ladies, okay?
When it comes to music videos, do you work with a specific videographer or do you work with different videographers?
I'm still kind of like figuring that out because I haven't really done many videos. I'm just now starting to like learn what my aesthetic is for music videos and how to like bring that to life. For the videos that I have out, there's 2 of them that I did with 2 different videographers, and then 2 that I like did. No. One that I did completely myself with my best friend, and the other one that I had like a videographer help me, but I completely like edited it, directed it, and stuff. So I've just been trying to learn how to do all that myself because money's tight.
So overall, you're very involved with the process.
Yes, I'm very hands-on. I'm not like I'm of course collaborative, but I feel like because I often know what I want to see, it's like I'd rather just figure out how to do it myself sometimes. Or like, I don't know, I just think it's important to learn how to describe what it is that you're picturing so that whenever I do find that videographer, that I'm like, oh, this is the person. Like I can properly explain and like have the proper language, because all that tech talk, you know, is hard. So it's like, if then you could, it'll be easier to direct in the future. Cause I definitely will be directing my videos more and more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Cause you have that little creative bug where when you get in your little Birkin bag, when you're in your Birkin, you be going crazy. And we love it. We're all here for it.
Thank you.
So with Pretty Things, right? That's another amazing record that you released this year. I believe it was in March or May.
It was in May, yeah.
It was in May, yes. Pretty Things, which is out now on all streaming platforms. That was another track that you displayed your enchanting songwriting. So I want you to describe what was going through your mind when you wrote this lyric. You've been on my mind, try to see your side. Used to share the nights, read between your lines. Knew I had to let it go. Talking through your teeth. Knew you would try to stall. Losing control, let me spell it out. Made enemies, masks shattered like a glass piece. What were you going through?
I mean, honestly, there was a lot going on at that time. But this specific song, it was like about whatever, somebody I was like dating, kind of. Mm-hmm. And so that part was just me describing how I felt in the moment. It's like I was still thinking about that person, but not because I missed them. It was just more like processing the fact that I really tried to see this person's perspective and like give them a chance, and they just didn't reciprocate the same energy, you know? And so with you been on my mind, tried to see your side, used to share our nights, that person used to be in my house all the time. So used to share our nights, read between your lines, because I'm the type of person that I'm very observant. Like I notice a lot of things even when I don't want to. And so throughout me like getting to know this person, I was like picking up on a lot of things that I was like, red flag, red flag, red flag. But it's like, I was already in it, you know? So it's hard to get out or to feel like, oh, I can just like whatever when you're in the midst of it. And so that's how I was feeling. I was just like, and then the made enemies, mass shattered like a glass piece. I was talking about him, and I was talking about how he sees me. I'm pretty sure he probably sees me as this person who just didn't understand him, or this, that, the third. When, you know, people try to demonize different things, even if they were in the wrong, or it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that I knew he was probably seeing me in a way that didn't reflect what actually happened. And it was because his true self came forward, you know? So mass shattered like a glass piece, because it wasn't good quality. Like, if you're going to wear a mask, at least make it durable. You know what I mean? Like, it was clear, it was transparent. Which also is why I said glass.
What made me choose that specific lyric is that the song is so beautiful. And if people aren't paying close attention, they won't even be able to understand that you're talking about some hardships that you may have experienced. But now you're on to Pretty Things.
Exactly.
And you can never fuck with me.
Right.
So, you know, like I feel they would just get caught into the hook and other parts of the song that you wrote so eloquently. But one thing I love about your music is you're still able to put real life situations, whether it's in full detail or just a few words, in the midst of it. So with Pretty Things, and with you explaining, you know, the hardships that you went through with your situation, it just reminds me of a lotus flower. And are you familiar with a lotus flower?
Yes, I am.
When it first starts off, it's not the prettiest thing in the world.
It's true.
And it grows in like, you know, muddy, murky environments, swampy environments. But as it transforms and as it blooms into the flower that it's meant to be, it's like one of the most beautiful flowers ever.
No,
And it's
sure.
It also represents like a cosmic energy. So you definitely have this cosmic energy to you.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's honestly a perfect way to describe the song. I think, like you said, Pretty Things is just, it's this feeling of being in the midst of the bullshit, but still like growing regardless. And I think when I was in that situation, even though like I felt, I don't want to say trapped, like I felt like I was trapping myself. But at the same time, I was learning so much because I was diving deeper into who I am, and I was realizing a lot of things that I hadn't before. Because I mean, I was 21, so I was just literally facing the fuck out of myself. Like I was like, wait, like I'm an adult now. What does this look like? Who am I? So it's like, wow, I'm like talking to this person and realizing more and more that I'm queer too, and still like being with a guy. And I was just like, wait, no, no, I don't think this is what I want.
Hey, at least you tried and you realized that's not what you want.
Yeah. I was like, no.
So, if you had an alter ego, what would you name them?
So actually, I would probably use my middle name because my middle name is very different, and it's also my aunt. What is it? My mom's sister's name. I don't say aunt because I never met her. She unfortunately passed before I was born. But her name was Onelia, and that's my middle name. I just think it's such a beautiful name.
Yeah.
And I think it would be so cool to just like, I don't know, maybe one day secretly like just do something with that.
I think you should.
I mean, I guess it won't be as secret because we're talking about it here, but if you know, you know.
That is true. That is true. I think that's very clever because even with the little creative stuff I do here and there, I use my middle name as well, which is like one of my alter egos. My middle name is Septimus, by the way. It's a Latin name which basically means seven, but I'm named after my great grandfather, who was the 11th. Was it 11th or 13th? I forgot the exact number, but he was one of the vice presidents of Haiti in like 1874.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the name's actually very powerful. But
no, yeah, it's dope.
Whenever I'm in my creative bag and I'm like, hey, let me just stop being Josh for a minute, I'm Septimus.
Nice.
So I think it'll be another great way for you to express your creative energy.
For sure.
What are some musical inspirations you had? Like, who are some of your favorite artists?
There's so many, but I would say right now, like Doechii, that's my girl. Okay, I'm so obsessed with her. I know my music doesn't necessarily sound like hers, but I'm inspired by her lyricism. The way that she breaks down different punchlines is very clever. It's very intentional.
Raw.
And I think, yeah, it's very raw. She's very honest and she don't care. Like she's going to tell you all the tea. And I think that's really scary to do as an artist. So it's inspiring to see a woman as amazing as her, like doing it. So definitely her. I feel like Lexa Gates, she is definitely another person that inspires me, just especially because what I appreciate about her is her ability to incorporate her personality into her music. So it's like you're listening to her music and it's dope, but you're also like laughing because she's saying funny shit and you could tell like that's how she talks in real life, you know. It makes it kind of feel like your friend is singing their life to you, you know? Definitely them. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is just so cool with the way that she just does everything. Like from the songwriting to like how soft her voice is, but how kind of like dark her music is. Like the writing, like what she's talking about is really intriguing. But there's so many people, so I'm going to stop there because if not, it's just going to keep going.
Completely understand. Another one of your songs that I fell in love with was Perfect End. Literally, I don't even know how to put into words, but it literally felt like a magical experience. Like I was going on a trip.
Eh,
What inspired you to create that song?
trauma.
Damn.
No, but like for real. But honestly, Perfect End, I wrote that when I was 17. And I was just like going through a lot of stuff, and just I started music really young, and I started learning about the business and like getting in tune with people in the industry kind of young too. So just like exposing myself to those environments, I feel it was tough. It was tough, especially being a teenager. My family doesn't know anything about music or the business, so like I was just figuring it out, and like these adults are telling me business things that I have no idea, but I'm trying to pretend because I don't want any. So I don't know, just that song, it was just about the mistakes I made, feeling like maybe things could have been different, but at the end of the day, you can't really change that. So you might as well just pick your perfect end. Like how are you gonna move forward from this to, I don't know, just be better. Like,
I like how you said, I accept my fate. What a perfect end. Because that's acceptance. In order for you to change the situation, you gotta kind of accept things for what they are. Otherwise, you
right.
can't change it.
Yeah, if you don't see your reality, then you're just gonna be delusional. And at that time, I was like, nah, like I have to get out of this rut. And the only way I'm gonna do that is by crying whatever tears I need to, shedding whatever, heal, whatever I need to do. Like, weed was my bestie at that time, and it was helping me just like really process. I think a lot of people, I don't know, like whenever I smoke weed, it's a cool experience because I think it just gives me a moment to slow down and process things better sometimes. So during that time, it was really an eye opener on just like everything that I had been through. And I don't know, it was just a lot. And so I put it into that song, and I'm glad people like it.
Yes, we do. One of your hit records to the audience, well, I mean, basically all your records are hit records to us. I want to talk about Do You Want to Smoke and Subtle Lies. Do You Want to Smoke is like the perfect stoner song.
Oh, yeah.
And just the way the song is written, it's like you're taking us through a different world. And as we're going on this journey with you, you're painting the perfect picture in a scenario for what we could be possibly experiencing, but you're using yourself as like as a prime example. What inspired the lyrics for Do You Want to Smoke? How did you come about with creating that amazing track?
Well, the funny thing actually was I wasn't even smoking at that time. I really wasn't. I feel like when I did start writing this song, though, I finally like hit a joint after like months of not having done it at all. Because as much as I have like 2 songs about smoking, but like I really don't smoke that much. Not anymore, especially because I'm singing a lot. But that song, around that time, I was just feeling like I needed a friend. And so that song, that's literally what it's about. Like, it's not even, like, it is about, like, weed is mentioned in it, but it's not about weed. The song is about, I was, like, picturing a conversation between me and my best friend, like, because there have been plenty of times where we would link up, smoke, and then you know how it is. You get into deep conversations. All of a sudden, you start speaking about things that you didn't even realize you were feeling, but it's because you have that safe space. And so that's what that song was to me. Like, it was kind of like dedicated to my friends, like, for being there for me through those times, and like also letting them know, like, I will be there for you as well. Like, no matter what.
Ashe, that's what friends are for.
Exactly.
So with Subtle Lies, everything you explained for Pretty Things, I could kind of start to see a connection. So would you say Subtle Lies is based off of similar traumatic experiences you had, or different traumatic experiences, or is that just you being a creative and being able to tell a story very vividly?
I feel like they coincide in the sense of like Subtle Lies is actually, it's not about somebody else. It's me talking to myself. But more specifically is me talking to my anxiety.
Ooh.
So Subtle Lies, if you really like pay attention to the lyrics, I've been, maybe no one cares. Oh wait, no, wrong song. I have so many songs. I'm like hearing all of them except that one, but
Don't feel any pressure, because your songs are just like so angelic that at times I maybe think that I may be doing the same thing where it's just like, oh no, it was this record.
no. Okay, no, yeah, it's coming to me. So when I say, oh, keeping my eyes closed, placed my palm on my chest, I took a breath and let it go. Never known how to live without you. So that's my anxiety. Has been with me my whole life. I remember being a kid and realizing like not everybody feels this way. You know, like I feel like when you're an anxious person or you deal with anxiety, you think like, oh, you know, like this is just life. Like this is what everybody is going through, until you talk to other people and you're like, wait, so what's going on? So, you know, during that time I had like really heavy anxiety though. Like I'm grateful to say that I've like moved past that. Like I still of course deal with anxiety, but it's not at that like high a level. But yeah, at that time, that's where that song stemmed from. Like just me trying to come to terms with what I was feeling, trying to understand where it was coming from. But also like coming to face the reality to say, this is all in my mind. Like the anxiety is coming from me, you know? Like, yeah, my surroundings play a part, but like, how can I guess like better regulate, you know? So, yeah.
Man, if I didn't know better, I would have thought this motherfucking anxiety was a person causing you trouble.
That's how I wrote it. Like I wanted people to think that it's a person, but it's like, nah, like I feel like I did it that way because then you can fit whatever scenario you want into it, kind of. Because you could be talking about a best friend that hurt you. You could be talking about your parents or a lover or whatever. So it just really kept that openness where you could interpret it however. But for me, it was straight up to my anxiety because I was like, girl, like, we need to calm down. Like, we need to take a breath.
And that is, like you're mentioning, that you had a good relationship in regards to writing and in regards to education and writing. So the fact that you were able to be so descriptive and describe your emotion as if it were a person, like personify it, I think that's just like so phenomenal.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work, please.
I will. It's funny because when I first wrote that song, or at first I was trying to write a song about anxiety, but it didn't come out. And I was just like, it's not working. But then there was this one day where I was just like randomly like journaling and it started to kind of look like a song. And I was like, wait, let me try to see. And finally I was able to write about my anxiety when I wasn't thinking about it. So that's always how it is. Like, you stop thinking about it, it comes out.
You're right about that. So with you having your battles and struggles with anxiety, as all humans do, would you say being a gamer has helped you relieve some of that anxiety?
For sure. For sure. I remember the first video game I played that really like, well, not the first video game I played, but the first maybe like super packed video game I played that like changed everything and really made me a gamer would be Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, I was like, who is this? This is a badass, like, fine ass girl just like climbing these mountains and like just
Cool
getting at
stuff.
people. Yeah. And it's cool because it's like also there's mythology involved and like all these things. Video games have always been a way for me to just like get lost in another world, especially because like in general, I've always loved animated things like cartoons. Like they all hold a very special place in my heart because, you know, as a kid, I wished I lived in Bikini Bottom. You know, like I wanted to live in Bikini Bottom. I wanted to live in Adventure Time, the land of Ooh, or like, so video games kind of gave me sort of an opportunity to like immerse myself in those worlds. Like,
You are resonating with me very deeply right now because video games were my safety until I ended up being older, and I'm just like, all right, I need to do other things besides playing video games. I still do, don't get me wrong, but
no, for sure.
sometimes I'm not going to say sometimes, it really brings you to a different world. Like it's separate from this experience that we're having, and it's its own intricate experience where the worlds feel very lively and vibrant.
Right, and whimsical. It's like, oh, like, it's just fun.
You can say that again. One of the last questions I want to ask you, what type of movies are you into?
Movies? Honestly, I feel like I'm pretty open to anything, but definitely like horror is one of like my favorite genres. I love to be scared, but it's hard to get me scared because I've been watching horror since I was a kid. But yeah, I just love, and also like 90s movies like Cry Baby and like Serial Mom and like all these like back in the day movies. I feel like movies don't really have that magic anymore, unfortunately, that like Beetlejuice had and like, you know what I'm saying? So those type of movies, I always love going and like discovering new movies that are like from back in the day when I wasn't even here. Those like my favorite types. Or just like sci-fis, anything. I'm open to anything. If the storytelling is on point, I'm there.
That brings me to a very interesting question. Speaking of storytelling, can you see yourself writing music for movies, TV shows, video games?
Definitely, for sure. Like, I definitely want to be one of those people that, you know, like when they be having like random credits and shit where you're like, what the hell? Like, why is Yeily in the new God of War? Like, why is her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would love that. Like, it would be so cool. I honestly would love to make my own video game one day, or like at least like be part in the making of one. Not like as an animator, but just like maybe like the story or, you know, something like that. I think it would be fun.
I hear that. And with it being New York Fashion Week or Fashion Month, whatever it is, right? Because there's literally stuff going on for the entire month of September.
Right.
In this whole fashion epoch that we're in, do you see yourself walking in any shows? Do you see yourself performing at any fashion shows?
Hell yeah. I was actually just talking about it earlier. Like, I really want to figure out how to really get into that scene because I've been obsessed with fashion since I was a kid. Like, I literally was practicing everything Tyra Banks was saying in America's Next Top Model, like Project Runway. Like, that's my show too. So I definitely would love to dabble into that world because I style myself for everything, for all my music videos or just like anything. Like, so I started dressing myself when I was 4, so I've just been trying to be fashion forward since forever.
You got a good taste, I will say that. Good taste in
Thank you.
fashion. I went to a fashion show a few days ago, right? And while I was at this fashion show, it was a great experience. The location where it was being held was in the city in this old church or synagogue. So I like how they just like redid everything.
Yes, dope.
I know, right? It felt otherworldly. Now, when I was studying your music again for the interview, I came across one of your older tracks, Neon.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And Neon, that deserves to be played on a runway when models are modeling. Like literally, just for me listening to it over again, I'm just like, I could envision all the models I saw walking, that Thursday evening, walking to your music. So I'm just like,
That would be awesome.
we need to find a way to make that happen,
We need to do something like Fashion Week. Where you at?
Hey, be careful, they're listening.
I hope so.
Where can people find you at? What are your social media handles?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Yeily Saints, and you can find me on TikTok at Yeily Saints Official. Unfortunately, my original account was hacked.
Man.
So I had to, do another one, but we're still here.
See, you guys can find me at @JDThePlug_22 and at OutTheBox series, one word, on Instagram and YouTube. This is Josh. I'm here with Yeily Saints. This is the first of many interviews that we'll be doing, and she's a part of the OutTheBox family, so you'll always see her performing at our showcases.
Hell yeah.
Is there a last word you'd like to leave with the good people? The aliens?
With the aliens, just keep being itself. Thank you for supporting my music. And I don't know, I hope that you enjoy listening to me talk for probably like 20 minutes. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad that we were able to sit down and have this very candid conversation.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. This is Out the Box series, and we are here at Taste Radio, where culture meets entertainment. Have a good one, everybody.